I'm blanking.
I am Tarzan.
Take your time.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the
Yeah.
Big Bean Podcast. We are...
We're not doing that. We're not doing that.
No. No.
No.
I like the enthusiasm,
Come
though.
on,
Keep that.
motherfucker!
Welcome, everybody, to the Baked Beans Podcast. We've got White Sea Deer over here, and we've got us, Zap Quackbacks. Zap. And myself, Quack. And we've got some stuff to talk about.
Heck yeah, we do.
Some movies, some games, some news. So without any further ado, Zap, why don't you start us off with your topic? It sounds like you got some stuff to say about Dogecoin.
Oh, yeah. Dogecoin. Apparently, it is the world's favorite crypto at the moment. It's skyrocketed. This year alone, it's gone up, something staggering amount, like 5,000%. It was trading at the beginning of the year at 1/10 of a cent, and as we're sitting here talking right now, it's at about 30 cents. So anybody who got in that on the ground floor is making bang. I myself am doing pretty well on it, and we'll only see how far it goes. They're introducing new markets for it. There's everything, but it's staggering. It's outperforming every other cryptocurrency, and now with the introduction of Coinbase and the constant support from Elon Musk, if they can get some real supporters behind it, you may see it. You may see it do some things, but who knows? Everybody's also talking about the crypto bubble that could happen, and maybe it'll pop and everything will come back down. But we'll see what happens. I'm excited and I like what's going on. I think it's interesting. I think we're going to see a lot of people, when back in 2012 when Bitcoin made it really big and we saw a lot of Bitcoin millionaires come out.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
We're seeing kind of the same thing right now. There are Dogecoin millionaires already. So it's happening.
That's bonkers.
And it's real. And yeah, it's fun to watch. It started as a joke, as a meme, and the internet said, "Hey, bitch, let's go," and here we are. Yeah.
So. Dogecoin it's super interesting to me because, like you were saying, David, it really did start as a joke. I forget the name of the creator. The guy made this thing as kind of just a meme joke, because cryptocurrency was just coming to the market. And he's like, "Oh, I'm just gonna make Dogecoin, like make it funny, whatever, ha ha ha." But apparently, I read the history on this. A guy that worked at IBM, high-level technical guy, whatever, he came to the creator of Dogecoin and he basically said, "I want to make this a thing. I want to make this a real thing, cryptocurrency." And the creator was like, "All right, whatever, let's do this." And it's definitely gone to play. It spent years and years, trading under a fraction of a penny. And a lot of people dismissed it. But now you have a bunch of Gen Z millionaires running around saying much wow and so Doge. And it's just so crazy to watch. And I
am one half of that.
Yeah. And I personally own some Dogecoin. It's, I'm not rich or anything, but the amount of money that I've made is nothing to shake a stick at. So I think it's just incredible to see all these people from the internet community and stuff make all this money, because I love seeing people succeed. I think it's a great thing. And I would recommend anybody just to pick up even $100 worth. Like, just put a little bit of money in, because if this thing goes any higher, you're going to be making a lot of money. So, for example, like if it gets to $100 one day, years down the line, I will have a lot of money. If
it gets to $100, I will never have to do anything for the rest of my life.
So even if you just want to pump in a few $100s of spare savings in there and just hold it for a very long time, I would recommend people do it. Make sure it's money that you're willing to lose. Make sure you're not putting in your life savings in this thing, obviously, because the bubble is a legitimate threat. We may see this tank one day, and you might lose all your money. So if you're willing to blow through some money and make a little investment for the hope that maybe in the future that you'll never have to work again for the rest of your life, I would recommend it. So I'm super excited to see the future of this, obviously, because I have a personal benefit if it goes up to there. And then also I want to see everyone else succeed and stuff like that. The other point of this is I'm worried that because obviously the government and the powers that be don't like all of us poor people making a lot of money. I could see the government coming in here, because this isn't just happening to Dogecoin. We're seeing Ethereum, Litecoin, Unicorn Coin. There's a bunch of crazy cryptocurrencies out there that are spiking.
Unicorn Coin?
There's a Unicorn Coin. And there's a bunch of crazy cryptocurrencies spiking right now because of this Coinbase listing and all this stuff. I'm worried about the government coming in and doing some crazy regulations on the cryptocurrency market. That's what scares me. But for now, in the foreseeable future, things are looking pretty bright for cryptocurrency, so I think it's a legitimate investment to make.
It's definitely not going to hurt if you put your play money into it.
Yeah.
I've got 2 points to this. So one, the first point, I just want to point out that, like, to my knowledge, all three of us, we are not any sort of financial advisor. We do not watch the stock. As far as I know, you guys don't watch the stock market or cryptocurrency like a hawk, and you're not like in the business of those things. So like we're not really quote unquote qualified.
Yeah,
this is more of a friendly, like, hey,
advice. This is us just giving opinion.
Yeah, my personal opinion
friend,
as an observer. You know,
it's actually a legal
definitely don't want to
say.
Do not take this for any legal advice.
Yeah, I don't want to take credit for someone's financial disparity or anything.
Yes.
My second point that I want to make is how memes in general, they've started off as just like literally memes. Memes started as memes,
right?
If you think about it, and through the years they've transcended to become an art form, and now like they're actually influencing the economy in some way, shape, or form. I think that's really crazy to me, that like
wild.
Yeah, like fancy art, that those go for millions of dollars, but like the way that memes have evolved in like the last 10 years, I don't think anyone could have ever imagined, even 5 years, well, I don't know when Dogecoin came out, but like 10 years ago,
2013,
that like someone was gonna, but like that someone was gonna slap a dog on a coin and say, hey, sink all of your money into this because it's more secure than the banks. That's, if you had said that to me 10 years ago, I would have looked at you like you're fucking, like, you're a loony.
Wild.
You need, like, get back out on the street, you fucking crazy fuck.
Well,
but that's how things all unfold in this crazy world. Is like the thing that you should be betting on is more often not the thing that you think is crazy.
Yeah. Well, Quack, I have one thing to say to all that.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
To the moon, baby. To the moon.
To the moon.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Love the memes.
To bounce
Love
off
the memes about the meme.
Yeah. To bounce off of you, Quack, for sure. You talk about how memes have been influencing the economy. There's actually a system up now, and I forget what it's called, but you can take either video clips or memes or pictures and buy them, and it accrues. I learned this because I'm a fan of wrestling, so I follow WWE. WWE, on their website, you can buy clips of famous wrestling matches that happen, and it's basically like a stock holding, and a lot of big companies are starting to get into this. A lot of different people are starting to get into this. So I don't know what platform.
Is it like an NFT?
I think that's what it's called, NFT. I think that's what it is. But basically,
me and Zap were talking about it a couple of weeks ago.
I don't think any major trading platforms offer it, but I think it's something you can do online. I'm not super familiar with it, but I think that's crazy.
Question. So basically it's saying you have the rights to that image, or it's just saying you own a certified copy of it?
Yeah, you basically kind of own a certified copy, because obviously WWE isn't going to license its product out to random people that want to buy it, like, and then you'll never be able to see it on YouTube or anything. But yeah, it's some system where you can, I don't know if it's owning a piece of the clip or if it's, just getting a certificate that says you are a partial owner or whatever. I'm not super familiar with it, but I just know it exists. And maybe that's another topic we can talk about in the future. But I thought that was super interesting that kind of connected with what you said, Quack.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. I think it's very interesting too.
All right.
I think it's on me.
Yeah.
So I've got some I've got some hot takes. Maybe not like some super hot takes. I'm pretty sure everything that I'm about to say about this has been talked about on the internet because the movie's been out for a while already. But the Snyder Cut for Justice League.
Finally got around to seeing it.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Just so you guys know, if you guys don't want to hear the spoilers, jump to the whatever time slot that's after this. That way you don't
We will
get any
list it.
spoilers.
We can't list it.
Yeah.
Wait.
Well, I mean, we'll fix it in post or whatever. I don't
Different
know.
medium.
Yeah. And Ethan, you have not seen it, but you're cool with the
Yes.
spoilers still, right?
Yes, I am.
All right. So
Also-
Zap and I
also-
have. What's up?
You have seen the original cut, right?
I have seen the original Justice League multiple
I
times.
have
yes.
not. So we can actually speak about the differences.
Oh, okay.
Wait, you've never seen the original cut?
Nope, I just saw the Snyder cut.
That's great. I honestly think that was that would probably be the better way to do this. So there's actually a interesting statistic on Facebook. They did a poll recently where 2 million people were in the poll, and basically it was asking, did you finish the Snyder Cut? And 33% of them that were polled said yes. And that is, outside looking in, if I had not seen the Snyder Cut, like, I'd be really concerned about that. But after watching it, I kind of understand why. And this kind of leads into why I was saying it's probably a good thing that Zap, you didn't see the original. So you didn't have to sit through, the 75 to 80% of a movie that you had already seen, like I did. There was a lot of new stuff. There's a lot of new stuff in the movie. I'm not trying to discredit how much more there is in the movie, but having to sit through the same scenes
2 hours.
of the original, that honestly, it was just a meh movie. It was hard. The whole afternoon felt like the whole afternoon when really it was only 4 hours. So Zap, let's hear what you have to say, I guess. Did you like it? You didn't like it?
Oh no,
Okay.
I liked it.
Okay.
So there were quite a few things. So I have to say, first off, before I get into this, that I am a bigger fan of Marvel than I am of DC, at least in terms of the MCU versus the DCU, the major movie universes. I think Marvel has done a great job and they've set themselves up. It's wonderful. I think the DC needs to catch up. I think they're kind of messing it up. They keep restarting franchises and messing it up and not finding their rhythm yet. But that's not really the conversation right now. So the Snyder Cut, I saw it as what could be a really good foundation to a greater universe with some hiccups. There were some things that I just didn't like. Some ways that they edited it that I didn't like. I had some scripting problems that I thought could be better. Some usages of CGI that just kind of sucked. Some storyline issues. But overall, the story, the actors, the characters, I can't say that I hated any of them. I did enjoy all of it. And that's fine. We'll get into it. But from what I saw, something that surprised me was Cyborg. I did not expect. I didn't expect. I thought Cyborg was just like a half robot. I didn't expect Cyborg to be what would be in the MCU the equivalent of, in my mind, the Scarlet Witch, which is like he has the power of an Infinity Stone, which is like I don't remember what they're called, but I called it the Reality Cube.
A Mother Box.
The Mother Box. Yeah, he has that power, which is insanity, and I think that's awesome. And I think it catapults him to a level of importance, and it makes me automatically interested in his storyline. In the Snyder Cut, I'm told that there's a lot more of the Flash, and I did like his character. I thought it was zany, and I thought it was interesting, but I didn't like the way that he worked into the story. I think if he had a separate introduction into the universe, that would have been nice. But that's just me. But overall, I would give it like a 6 or 7 out of 10, and it's something that I'm not gonna like jump out of my seat to ever go see, but I'd go watch another DC movie with these characters in it, you know?
Yeah. I think I sit around about the same like rating as you, Zap. But I have a little more like negativity about the movie because I saw the original. And I like the dichotomy of this conversation because like we get to discuss both of these avenues.
Yes.
So in terms of Cyborg, favorite part of the movie, honestly, they took his part in the original cut of the movie and almost tripled it. He did not have as much going on for him
Oh wow!
in the original. Like
if that was not in the
he was
original,
there-
they made a mistake because he's like you need him. He seems like the most important character.
Yeah, a lot of his background stuff and the way that he interacts with technology in the Snyder Cut is not in the original cut. Like, he shows up, you're supposed to automatically assume that you know everything about this person,
Right.
and you don't get any of the emotional buildup that like the Snyder Cut actually gives you for Cyborg. So I think that was one thing that they really did a good job about, is really fleshing out that character. Because like most people, I feel like DC rushed into this movie. They should have went and actually did standalone movies for Cyborg, for The Flash, just like they did with Wonder Woman. They should have done all of those for the other characters. That way we could
Right.
actually get to know these
Oh, yeah.
people before this big calamity happens.
That's my biggest problem with the DCU is they didn't set up this Justice League movie well enough. Like the
Yeah,
MCU
no,
took their
they
time and
didn't,
developed
no.
it and did it, and like
Mm-mm.
there's no
Yep.
there's no emotional response to any of these characters because
Yeah.
I don't know them. I don't care about them. I want to
Yeah.
care about them. Give me something to care about. Give Cyborg his own
To be
movie.
fair-
Oh my god, he needs it.
Yeah. To be fair, Marvel didn't give them a fucking chance. Like,
No.
You think about they had a 10-year lead with about a dozen movies.
Yeah.
And
Well, they
you
found
know,
a
it was a
winning
bad play on their
algorithm.
part. Yeah. I do like they did a lot more with the Flash. There's one scene that I don't really like. It's the one with Felicity. And that's because it doesn't really make sense to be in the movie because like yeah, it just feels like a half-assed introduction to what he can do. There are some really cool
I
scenes
can see
that
that.
happen.
I thought it was zany though. I enjoyed it for its zaniness. I didn't like the editing of Felicity
Yeah.
when the flipping. But maybe that's because it was unfinished because it wasn't in the original cut. But I didn't like the CGI.
it felt like that. Yeah, it felt like that belonged in a different movie. It felt that like that
in a
belonged
Flash
in his own
movie.
movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a spoiler. The whole like time manipulation that he does at the very end to go back in time to touch the cube, that's not in the original movie.
Time versus Superman.
I know, but it's not. And
I feel like
it
that's
didn't
like,
happen.
I feel like that's necessary because like how else do you get him showing up at Batman vs Superman being like, oh, I went too far. Like in my head,
Yeah, I don't
that's
know.
why I say I don't know if that's what happened, but I think like when he touched Cyborg, I think that's where he went, and then he goes to Batman vs Superman
Yeah.
timeline, and then comes back.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense there, but like in the original cut, that didn't happen. He didn't do that whole go back in time thing. Which,
Oh my god, how did they
I
get away
love.
with this in this movie?
You're asking the same questions that
don't
we all
know.
did back in 2017. and you know, as someone who hasn't seen the Snyder Cut, hearing some of these things that have been fleshed out, actually, my point was going to be that I didn't want to sit through 4 hours worth of Justice League because I've heard people say that that's all it is 4 hours of the original Justice League. But hearing that they've fleshed out Cyborg story, that excites me a lot. And hearing
I thought that part was great.
Yeah, hearing about all the different things that are actually filling these gaps that back in 2017 a lot of us were like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on here? And so I actually might watch it now, hearing that, just Cyborg alone. I might watch the clips or something. I don't know. Like you were saying, Max, like you're seeing through the same scenes for 75% of the movie, and that's rough. But yeah, it sounds like it pretty much just plopped in little things here and there to kind of fill in the gaps here, you know. So that excites me. I might actually check this out a bit.
From what I'm hearing, the Snyder Cut, the original Justice League should have been after all the individual movies, which the Snyder Cut filled in the gaps for, like the Cyborg storyline and the Flash storyline.
Yes,
those should have been individual movies, and then the original Justice League would have made more sense.
Yeah. I do have kind of like 3 more points, if we're okay with like talking about 3 more.
Yeah, no, keep going.
Okay. So first, which, you know, if you aren't already interested in watching the movie, I think the best part of the movie is the fact that they put Doomsday in it. Or not Doomsday, Darkseid. Sorry, Darkseid.
Yeah, someone told me that he wasn't in the original, and I'm like, how was he not? He's the main villain.
I know, right? Exactly. They put Steppenwolf as the main villain, and it's just like he didn't deliver as well as he should have. And I think him acting as a subservient lapdog in this movie to Darkseid helped his character a lot. I liked Steppenwolf a lot better in the role that he was playing in this version, better than him taking command and being like, I'm the big baddie and you're going to fucking do what I want. But like in this movie, he's kind of Darkseid's bitch, and like that's who he is in the comics. And I'm like, thank you for doing that.
I have a question because I haven't seen the original.
Yeah, what's up?
So, if he wasn't Darkseid's bitch in the original, what was the draw for a potential number 2?
For Darkseid, you have a very good point. There wasn't. I guess like the big draw might have been the whole Slade or Deathstroke and Lex Luthor escaping from Arkham.
That's just not good enough.
That was supposed to be the draw for the next movie or the next phase of whatever DC was doing.
I just didn't see that
wholeheartedly. Yeah. By the way, the whole like Lex Luthor being in Arkham didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me. But whatever. Like, I guess they deemed him crazy enough to move into Arkham when he probably should have been in somewhere in Metropolis. But that's neither here nor there.
I can kind of write that one away because he's a super genius that could play it off.
Yeah, but it just feels so weird for him to be there. But that's just the comic book nerd in me thinking that.
Yeah.
And, you know, the movies are different. Second point. Loved Martian Manhunter.
Yeah, yeah, me too. You know, I thought it was great. He wasn't in it enough, but it was great.
I absolutely hated the last scene. I thought that it was so clunky, and Ben Affleck's Batman didn't even want to be in that scene. He just woke up and like there's an alien at his doorstep. He's not like combat ready. He's not about to throw hands. He just walks up to this guy who's floating right in front of him. He's like, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, "Oh, hey, I'm gonna help you in the next battle." And like Batman's like, "All right, I'm gonna go back to sleep." And then he flies off.
Yeah.
And like that's the whole scene. Like, why did you do that?
Yeah. While I can get the comicalness of it, I agree.
Yeah, there was a scene in the midway of the movie with that Martian Manhunter, and I wasn't fully paying attention to the scene, but Martha Kent was talking to Lois Lane about Superman's death, and after Martha Kent leaves, it is revealed that she is Martian Manhunter. He phases out of that form into Martian Manhunter and then phases into another person. And I thought that could have been enough. You could have
That is
just like
enough.
had that one scene, and you didn't have to put that last scene in there.
Yeah, I agree. I think because you know he's going to show up, and the introduction should be something fantastical or something at least better.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Also, like the interaction that we saw at the end of the movie, that's a type of interaction that the audience would assume happens off screen, that we don't have to see. Because
Yeah.
there's nothing going on. It's just like an introduction, like whatever. Like just show up in the next battle and like everyone will fucking wet their pants, you know? Like that's all you gotta do.
I agree completely.
Last point, and you know, then we'll move on. Sorry that we're taking so much time with this, but I have a lot to say, unfortunately. I now hate Jared Leto's Joker.
Really?
I viscerally and obnoxiously hate it, and it's at no fault to Jared Leto. It was a director's choice. He acted the scene. He acted the character that he was given.
Oh, in that post-credit scene, essentially.
Yes. So I think that there was too much dialogue given between Batman and the Joker. I think there was like 5 minutes of them talking, and like
Yeah.
4 minutes of it was the Joker laughing.
And then Batman dropped the
Really?
fuck bomb.
Which honestly I loved. I
Yeah.
loved that he did that.
Yeah. I like that part too.
And the placement of that whole scene didn't make any sense. Because it's in the epilogue, and you know, spoiler alert, it's a dream. And I feel like this scene would have done better to be put at the beginning of the movie, because then there would be some kind of like climactic build-up, like, oh, this is the future that is going to happen if we don't do this.
Yeah,
But since
or-
it's at the end, all of the drama has already like deflated, and we're exhaling, but like now there's another thing, and like it feels like a bait and switch, like we're, oh hey, this is gonna happen maybe in the next movie, so like this is what you're supposed to be excited about. It just didn't feel very organic.
I think that this is just my personal opinion. I think that it still could happen, and I think that that's the point. Is that happens after Darkseid shows up?
Right. In the original, I think the placement was different. It was like halfway through the movie.
Well, there
And I
was a
felt like
scene.
that was
There
more
was
of
a
a-
scene like that in the Snyder Cut. I don't
Oh,
know if
okay.
it's a different scene. I didn't see both, but there was a scene where Cyborg, when he was touching the things, and he flashed into a future, and Superman was fucking shit
Oh
up.
yeah.
And then at the
Yeah,
end,
I gotcha.
it was like a different version that. And then like they teased that in the middle when he said, "I think that Lois is the key." And then in the future,
Oh,
like I'm
yeah,
pretty sure
you're
he
right,
let
you're right.
Lois die or some shit. So like, it kind of ties together, and it did make a little bit of sense. But like, I agree with the whole point where like Joker and him talking was far too long. It was just a bit much for what would be a good thematic scene.
Last point. Black suit Superman is superior to regular Superman, and you can fight me on that. If he's wearing a different fucking suit in the next movie, I might not even watch it. So, and that's all I gotta say about that.
Well, it's the
yeah.
he got that suit from Batman, right? From Alfred.
No, it was in his ship. It was like
Oh.
supposed to be the quote unquote his like ultimate suit, because like there was a big sweeping thing of like, oh, here's the first one and the second one, and here's the one that you would have had if you were on Krypton, and then like it faded to another suit that you couldn't see, and then like it cut to him being in the black suit and then flying off.
Yeah, I like the black suit a lot.
Yeah, he looks fucking. Yeah. If you know what I mean.
You know
But
what I
anyway,
mean.
Uh-huh.
I think we need to move on.
Yeah.
All right. So Ethan, I think you've got some stuff to talk about Star Wars' new biggest new adventure in Bad Batch.
Yes,
Let's go.
Yes. So this is a show that I've been excited for a while, ever since I heard of its creation. It is called Star Wars Bad Batch. It'll be coming out on May 4th. Star Wars Day on Disney Plus. So far,
Very appropriate.
Yeah, if you had watched the original Star Wars Clone Wars cartoon show, you will probably know who the Bad Batch are. I think they were, I looked this up, they were introduced in Season 7 at the beginning. Basically, it's Clone Force 99, which is an elite group of clone troopers who they pretty much have more individuality and personalities than your normal clone troopers. And the reason why I am so excited for this, not only is it because it's basically kind of a continuation of the Clone Wars story, kind of an offshoot from the Clone Wars story, is that it kind of lines up with one of my favorite video games, Star Wars Republic Commando. Not in the sense that it's going to be the same thing, but it's kind of the same storyline. So for those of you that don't know, Star Wars Republic Commando was a first-person shooter Star Wars game that came out, I think, mid-2000s. And I still think today it's still one of the best FPSs ever created. They just released a remastered for Switch that I still haven't picked up, but I probably will soon. But basically, it's the same storyline where you have these 4 clone troopers that have kind of their own personalities. They're not necessarily, gung-ho about, the Republic or the Empire now. And it's going to take them through basically the same time period as Star Wars Republic Commando, basically near the end of the Republic, through Order 66, into the Empire. And the cool thing, the reason that I'm so excited for it is that we can kind of see a continuation from the end of Star Wars Republic Commando. The end of Star Wars Republic Commando, Order 66 comes in, and you see the faces. You don't see the faces. You see the helmets and just the body language of the commandos as they're getting this order, and they look at each other like, what do we do? Because their brains work like a normal person. They're not clone troopers. They're not built to just take orders. They're not robots. And that's where it ended. We've been waiting for a sequel for a very long time. So we want Star Wars Imperial Commando over a decade, and it's just been horrible waiting for this. And I know it's going to happen one day, but I think this show will kind of, in a way, show us how an Imperial Commando game would play out, and see what the reactions of these clone troopers, air quotes clone troopers, because they're really not, see how their reactions will be to this, to Order 66. And I think the coolest thing, I hope, my theory is obviously that probably 1 or 2 of them might go with the Order, 1 or 2 of them might go against the Order. But either way, somebody's going to go against this Order.
I think it's really cool how, like, you said their number was, what was it, 99?
Yes.
Like, it's really cool because you said like their team number was 99. Batch 99. What was it?
Clone Force 99.
Yeah, and like that's the reverse of 66.
Yeah, that
Order
might
66.
That might have something,
a
little thing thrown in there,
Yeah, I as a writer appreciate those little things because that's something that I would have done writing for a antithesis, or not an antithesis, but like an opposition to a calamity.
Hey. Hey.
What's up?
Star Wars is cool.
Yeah. That's very true.
Yes.
That was all.
I love
Continue.
Star Wars.
Star Wars is cool.
Yeah. Still is. Will always be.
As someone who is still working their way through Clone Wars, I'm on season 2 right now. I'm absolutely loving it. The idea that there's a continuation from Clone Wars into Bad Batch, that just means more content that I get to experience as a person. And Star Wars has been around for, I think, all of our lives at this point.
Yes.
And it's something that we grew up with. It's something that honestly we're gonna pass on to our kids. And like, I don't ever see Disney like stopping the train for Star Wars. So yeah. I'm really excited, especially after watching The Mandalorian. I don't know if anyone on that team is in any way affiliated with the Bad Batch, but like, well, I guess they are, but because they all work for Disney, obviously. Yeah,
there was some interaction with some characters in Mandalorian that were in Clone Wars that had interactions with Bad Batch, so it all kind of ties in a little bit,
Is now, this might be a spoiler for Clone Wars, so I'm gonna ask a question, and I just want a yes or no. I don't really want like the outside ancillary information. Is Rex gonna be in Bad Batch? Do you know?
I am not
Or do you know
sure.
who Rex is?
I know who Rex is. I'm not entirely sure if he is going to be in Bad Batch.
Okay. Yeah, I have not finished Clone Wars, so I don't know if he's alive or dead. I just know that Rex is a really pivotal character in Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be cool if he came back for Bad Batch. And for our listeners at home, if Rex is dead, this probably hurts really hard for me to say.
Yeah.
And I'm really sorry. Because I love Rex. Rex is really cool, and he's like the most human clone in all of Clone Wars. And you talking about Bad Batch being a batch of clones that are more human, that made me think, oh, maybe they're like Rex.
Yeah.
And that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty fucking excited about it too.
And another point that I wanted to make, more of a deeper meaning in the Star Wars universe, sort of. Correct me if I'm wrong, but from what we've seen of Order 66, I don't think we've seen any dissent among the ranks of the clone troopers during Order 66. Like I said, in Republic Commando, there was a bit of a spot there where it was like, but there was nothing happened past that. So I think if we see this, and if my theory is correct that maybe 1, 2, maybe all of them dissent against Order 66, it will be canon that there was dissent in the ranks of clone troopers during Order 66, which I think that just opens up a ton of avenues for Star Wars to go. If there's civil wars that went on, or if there were certain generals or, commanders that told their troops, no, we're not following this fucking order, we're not killing these Jedi, blah, 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 and maybe some more Jedi survived that we don't know about. We obviously know Ki-Adi-Mundi died, we know, Mace Windu died. We know the big ones, but there's a lot more Jedi that were out there, and you never know, maybe the clones that were assigned as their protection detail, or in the armies they were commanded, they sided with them and said, we are not following this order, we're with you till the end. So I think that is super, super interesting to see.
Last thing I want to say, did you have more to talk about Bad Batch?
Not me on Bad Batch. David, do you got anything to say?
I have to say that is all very interesting, and I love listening to you guys talk about it.
Last thing that I do want to mention is a shameless plug. White Sea Deer has one episode of
oh my goodness,
Republic Commandos on his channel right now. You can go watch it. It's a great episode.
I'll keep
I gotta show some love to my bro over here.
Thank you.
Yeah, so White Sea Deer is honestly rapidly becoming one of my most favorite creators. Stop. Please, everyone that please go give him a look, because it's worth it.
Yeah, I started using a face cam. You can see my beautiful face live and in person
on Twitch
and on YouTube.
Yeah, he's becoming my inspiration.
Don't know. I'm garbage.
Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about. Keep looking up the Markiplier.
Yeah, but you're our garbage.
You're our garbage.
We love you. We love you.
Thank you guys, and I love you guys too. You guys are doing some great things. Don't you worry.
All right, Zap, I think you got some stuff to talk about the new up and coming movie coming up on April 23rd.
Are you talking about the new Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, I am.
No.
Oh man.
Tell us about it.
Oh geez. Okay, so I don't have all of the logistical information, but all I know is that Mortal Kombat, who doesn't know it? It is something we were all raised on, us of this age group.
Mm-hmm.
We look back to the original games, the original movies, and what did we love? We love the epic fight scenes. We love the amazing, just fantastic ridiculousness of it all. And I cannot wait to see those crazy fights come to the 21st century of CGI and everything. And it seems like the casting has done fairly well. They're casting martial artists and people of appropriate races and cultures, and it seems like they're paying attention to things from the trailers that I've seen, which is all secondary to me. It's wonderful. It's nice. Don't get me wrong. I love it that they're paying attention, but I don't care about the storyline. I want fight scenes. That's what Mortal Kombat is. I want fight scenes, and the fight scenes in the trailers look amazing, and I am opening night there right now. Let's go. 100%. Cannot wait. I want to see Sub-Zero fight Scorpion. I want to see Liu Kang do his shit.
Man.
I want to see, your soul is mine. Let's go. I cannot wait for this reboot. It has been 20-something years in the making. No, wait, hold on. More than that. How many years are we talking now in the making? In the remaking?
More than I've been alive.
Yeah, exactly.
We came out in the 90s.
Yeah, we are talking a ridiculous amount of time. I can't wait. I hope it does well. Unfortunately, I have some expectation, but as long as there are good fight scenes, it's going to be great.
Oh, yeah.
And then it opens up an entire new audience to the new games, and that's
Woo!
I think they're doing a good I think they're doing a good thing, and I cannot wait to see this movie. Plus, all of the characters, the what I've seen of them, the way that they're portraying them on film, they look really cool. They look fun. They look interesting, and they look just badass.
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna be there, watching this movie, and I don't see myself being disappointed as long as the fight scenes are great. I just think it's gonna be fun. Unless they lean too heavily on this weird second storyline that they have in the trailer, which is outside of the realm of the original movie. I don't fully know what it is because I didn't pay too much attention to it. Maybe one of you two do. But outside of that, fight movie, great, can't wait. Go back to nostalgia, love it, let's go, 100%.
Yeah.
There for it.
Mortal...
It sounds. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Mortal Kombat. It's a movie that I've been waiting for a while. I always thought that it definitely needed a modern movie in this day. I'm surprised it took this long to make a Mortal Kombat movie. But at least from what I see from the trailers, they're doing it right. They're getting the gore down, they're getting the fighting down, they're getting all the characters down. I'm sad, obviously, to see that it got delayed a week, but I'm not going to complain because we've seen movies get delayed months and even a year. So I'm not even gonna. It was supposed to come out today, and it got delayed until next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I was like, wait, hold on, I bought tickets already.
No. I'm talking about the delay that happened recently. Yeah, I'm not talking. There's no new delay, but we were supposed to see it this week.
Good.
Whatever, but I'm not gonna complain. It's just a week, so I'm not gonna say nothing. But you can definitely expect me to be watching it. I'm not going to theaters yet because I haven't gotten my second shot, and neither has Kendall. But we're going to be watching on HBO Max. I'm so excited for this to see how much the director has pushed the limits with the rated R genre. And from what I've heard, it's it's cutting that line, it's just going to be a gore fest. It's going to be a nostalgia fest. It's just going to be a fun movie to watch.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be a little sad when HBO stops its whole straight streaming with theatrical releases. So back to the side story. I think the idea is that, well, from the trailer, obviously it sounds that there's a CIA mission or some kind of organization that's hunting Sub-Zero, and honestly, I like it as an introduction, but I definitely feel the same way as Zap. I don't want that to take the main focus. I don't want this to be we want to see the fights. Yeah. That's all we want to see. Don't give us.
We want this to be a Mortal Kombat movie.
I care about the tournament.
The original was about the tournament. Yeah, exactly. I want the tournament.
Yeah. One thing that I'm a little scared about is that I've told both of you this before, but the trailer looks better than most movies out right now, and that has me a little bit worried because what if that means they took the best parts of the movie and put in the trailer? I really hope that's not the case.
Yeah, that can happen. I hope so too.
That's gonna really hurt if that's the case. But I'm super excited. I loved the original. I didn't see Armageddon. I heard it was a trash fire, as most movies back in that day are, and we have to look back at them with nostalgia glasses.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited too. I'm glad you guys are.
Yeah. On your point, Quack, the trailers, you saying that most of the trailers that I've seen have just been the fight scenes. It's gonna be about what's happening
Yeah.
between these fights, and that's really what's gonna make or break the movie for me. Because obviously they got fight scenes down. I have no doubt in my mind that these fight scenes are gonna be just amazing. Kong v Godzilla, quality fights. It's gonna be so
But
fun.
are there
Yeah.
more fight
Yeah,
scenes?
and we'll see. We'll see
I
how many
hope
fight
so.
scenes there actually are.
There better be.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see what those in betweens are like. I think that's really what's gonna make or break it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
definitely.
agree. And I mean, also, I think a thing that we're not crediting, because I kind of discounted it and you confirmed it. Who knows? Maybe the storyline will be more interesting than we all think.
Yeah, it could.
Maybe it'll actually be
True.
a nice draw. Maybe it'll be a good movie outside of that.
Or
you
maybe
know?
it'll just even be
I
a
really
fun
hope
little
so.
romp on the side, of this awesome
Yeah.
tournament.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe. We'll see. But either way,
Fingers crossed.
yeah. I'm gonna love what I love and hate what I hate, and I'm sure we'll talk about it afterwards.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about this movie later on for sure.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
But in terms of new releases that are coming out, I think next month. I think it's in May.
Something like.
Honestly. Yeah, we've got a new show coming out for Disney Plus. Loki. You guys excited about Loki?
boy.
After looking at the cast for the show, I'm completely like I'm so right there because there's some people in here that I didn't know were gonna be here. So obviously, Owen Wilson's gonna be in there. That's obvious. Some people
Yeah.
might not recognize him because he's got the facial
Wow.
the facial hair. Yeah.
I didn't
God,
know.
every time I look. Really?
I didn't.
Okay. Well, that's good. I don't know. So he's actually the good cop to Loki's bad cop. He's the foil, if you will, of the entire movie. But just to ramble on about like who's in it. Like obviously Tom Hiddleston. I just talked about Owen Wilson. Some other names that I'm really excited about is Chris Hemsworth is going to be in the movie, presumably in a
gonna be in it?
flashback or yes, and Idris Elba. I didn't know that those two were going to be in this movie. I honestly thought that
Sure.
this was going to be a Loki-centric thing, and like these actors are too high up. But I could have said the same thing about Tom Hiddleston, but here they all are in this show, and I'm really excited to see Thor be Thor again, and have more Idris Elba being Heimdall, because those are pretty much the main three of all of the Thor movies.
Yeah.
And they're really, really cool. One bit about the entire thing that I really, well, actually, there's two. I could go on and on, honestly, but I'll only talk about two. They're time police. In any medium, anytime that there's like a time police scenario, I am immediately enthralled.
Oh yeah.
There's something about an entity that is outside of time, going to specific points and stopping people from messing with time. There's something about that has always interested me, and the whole
Me too.
idea of the movie is that, or not the movie, but the show is that Loki unknowingly made an alternate timeline. He didn't mean to. It was just like a happenstance of what happened at the end of Endgame, where he picked up the Tesseract, and he doesn't know why. He doesn't know for what reason. It just kind of happened. And I think the name is very appropriate. I think there's a tie-in with comic books with Variant. I think there is a Variant comic book for Marvel where like they mess around with time stuff.
Oh yeah, there's a lot
I'm
of
not super knowledgeable about it.
There's a ton of
Is there really?
variant. Yes, it's I think it's called. Is it called Uncanny? I'm not entirely. That might be their horror
Uncanny
one, but
Uncanny Avengers is a thing.
Yeah. There's definitely.
But I think there's-
Though,
I
that
think-
mess with like crazy things like Fantastic Four meets Hulk and stuff like that. Like and there's a lot.
Yeah,
Of comics.
that's the What If series. I
The
think
What
you're
If,
talking about.
yeah,
I
that's
think
what
there's
I'm
like an
thinking of.
actual.
What If.
Yeah. I think there's actually a comic book series called Variant, and I don't know if it like actually deals with Loki or if it's like more about the actual, quote unquote time police.
Right.
But that whole idea has me interested in actually looking up the comic books, and as both of you know, I'm very, very much into comic books, and
Right.
I love time and I love multiverse stuff. The other point, I guess I have, and well, actually, I'll give it up to Ethan. Do you have anything that you want to talk about real quick for Loki?
I am, for one, I'm really excited about this show. Loki's a character that I've loved my entire life, whether it be mythology, comics, or now the MCU. So I love seeing that he's getting his own show, because I've enjoyed him throughout the entire MCU journey that he's had. And I think this has a chance of being the greatest Marvel show that we've seen to date. Obviously, we've been,
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, we've been obviously getting bangers with WandaVision and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but I think the unique combination of Loki's just comedic gold. The character is funny, and I mean funny. Him and Drax are my two favorite characters when it comes to comedy in Marvel. I absolutely love them. And then also combined with just the sheer acting chops that Tom Hiddleston has. I mean, we've seen Loki in the movies. He is so, when he's serious, he's serious. When he's funny, he's funny. He is he's perfect for Loki, in my opinion. So I think that will just give us some great quality acting. It'll be movie quality show, as obviously Marvel has proven. Yeah, I'm just super excited for this show. Marvel's already blown me away with these shows, so I think they're going to do a great job with Loki. So I have nothing but high hopes.
Anytime Loki is on the screen, like my attention is immediately like taken off of like whatever the fuck is going on. Like I want to see what he's doing because he's the mischievous one. He's gonna do something crazy.
And after watching Endgame and all the obviously the Marvel movies, I've always just wondered, what is Loki doing? That's kind of been nagging at me before I even knew the show was gonna be a thing. Was what happened to Loki? After he disappeared from custody, like what happened with Loki? What's he doing? Like like what mischief is this guy getting into? I'm so excited to see them fill in all these gaps. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Zap, what you got?
My big thing for this show is something. It's two things. One, this is a trope. Two, I support it fully because it's what you guys said. The character Loki is fantastic, and the way they're running this show based on the trailers, I love the fact that you can plug and play Loki now into any scene and any movie and any situation into the MCU without any explanation because he exists inside and outside of the main universe now. And there doesn't need to be an explanation. He can just show up and it doesn't matter because you're like, oh, well, he's in that weird timey shit where he's outside of everything. So he can just be there. And I would love Tom Hiddleston, Loki, to just show up at a random place where he doesn't belong. And then just say some shit and then just walk off screen like, whatever. And like, and I love that idea that he's just going to show up and nobody knows it.
Funny.
Yeah, and I think that's fantastic, and I love the avenue they're doing with that. They're capitalizing on a great character, and I just can't wait to see where it goes. So I think it's going to be really cool.
I have a theory, and I think you're going to see small clips from almost all of the major movies that Marvel has come out, and he's going to just show up in a random scene that was super serious as part of those movies, like you were saying, David, and just make his presence known and be like, all right, I'm out of here, type of thing. So I think you're going to see all the big name actors from Marvel, the MCU, show up just in like small little snippets. You're going to see Captain America look to his left, and Loki's going to be like, oh, wrong place. And then he's going to dip out. It's just going to be so funny.
Maybe he becomes the new post-credit scene. Maybe he's like
I think that's gonna be Deadpool, but yeah.
Oh, that would be
not to say not to say that he in any way, shape, or form could replace. I am blanking so hard on his name, and I'm so Stanley. All right, sorry. Not in any way, shape, or form that he could replace Stanley, but like this kind of like makes an excuse for him to be anywhere and any time, just like both of you were saying. Warp right into one scene and leave the next.
Oh yeah. Like
and
every
in a
movie
very
that comes out, there's always a Loki cameo. That's so awesome.
like
And then, like, inexplicably, he's standing next to Deadpool, and they're both just like, yeah.
yeah, that's a good point.
Very poetically, he's kind of become the Doctor Who of Marvel.
Yeah.
With all of this time shit.
Weird side note: Tom Hiddleston is Doctor Who.
Huh?
No, he's not.
I mean, it'd be interesting. I'm not gonna get into it now, but.
Oh yeah, well, because he's British, and also there's a running theme with all of the new Doctors of Doctor Who. This is like a sidebar thing. I'm sorry. Where every new Doctor since the reboot has been a monumental fan of Doctor Who, and there's a very obvious reason for that. Is because like whenever back in the 70s and the 80s, whenever this show was very prevalent, everyone in Britain was enthralled with Doctor Who.
Yeah.
So like, of course, everyone that grew up in that time is going to be a huge Doctor Who fan. So a little bit of tidbit of trivia for you Doctor Who fans.
Yeah.
Which Tom Hiddleston is a huge Doctor Who fan, obviously. Last thing that I did want to talk about, and maybe you guys didn't catch it, I did watch a few breakdown trailers of the newest Loki trailer. And one thing that people were pointing out a lot is that there's a scene where it looks like Loki is talking to Black Widow in a scene where it's like all purple and there's a desolate city in the background. Now, it's very obvious that it looks like Black Widow, but it looks like she has the blonde hair that she did in one of the previous movies. I think it was Civil War. I think Civil War she had blonde hair, but it was one of those. But in Endgame, or rather Infinity War, whenever she died, spoiler alert.
If you haven't seen it,
she did not. She didn't have blonde hair. She had her regular, her ginger hair or her red hair. So there's a lot of people speculating that this is going to be the introduction to Lady Loki, and this is a conversation between Lady Loki and Loki. What do you guys think about that?
I think I know nothing about Lady Loki.
That's good. She does exist in the comic books. For a time, Loki did change Loki's form to that of a female, and I think that was I don't know if that was like forced upon Loki or if he did it willingly. I don't remember, but Lady Loki does exist.
That would definitely
people are speculating
fit the bill of him going through multiple timelines. He might go into that timeline where there's a Lady Loki and they meet, and that would definitely be very interesting.
That is exactly what people are speculating right now.
Wow.
You hit the nail.
Wow.
Could be cool. Could be very cool.
I'm really excited. It looks like we might be on our last topic, if not the next to last. Ethan, you've got some stuff to talk about. Aliens.
Yes, aliens.
Boy, don't we like aliens here.
I love aliens. I'm super. I've always been interested in the idea of extraterrestrial life. I believe it exists. I don't know for sure whether it's in the solar system or not. I just want to make that a point. But exciting news has come out. We all know about the leaked footage that was allegedly from fighter jets that took off from carriers in the U.S. Navy. They got videos of 3 different unidentified flying objects. Now, obviously, we don't know if these are aliens or not. I got to make that disclaimer. These very well could be, secret Russian stuff or, a fluke crazy thing that happened on radar, infrared cameras, whatever. Either way.
Or the pyramids are flying.
Yeah, or it is bona fide aliens. We don't know. That's the whole point of UFO. It's unidentified. But these things leaked, I think, back in 2015, 2016, something like that. I don't remember the exact date. But now the Pentagon has come out and declassified the footage because it has been classified this whole time, even though it's leaked to the public. And 2, have admitted that, these are UFOs. We'd have no idea what these were. Our fighter pilots picked these up and they tracked them and they have no idea what it is either. And so I think that is super interesting, one, that we have this footage to begin with. If you guys haven't seen this footage, I would go look it up right now. It is very interesting. There are things happening that modern technology doesn't really explain. The movements, the speed, and the size of these things, it doesn't match up with the technology that we have nowadays. It's very, very weird. So that's why a lot of people lean that it's extraterrestrial. But me, being the person I am, shout out to all the Mass Effect fans out there, I'm holding out hopes that we find Prothean ruins on Mars and a Mass Effect relay on Pluto, and I can spend a summer holiday on the Citadel. But that would be great. But I don't think we're anywhere close to that. But I think it's just super interesting that the government's basically coming out saying, yeah, these exist. We have no idea what they are. It's been happening for years. We've known since radar was even invented that we've started picking up things that we have no clue what it is. And I think it's just another step forward into, legitimizing the hunt for extraterrestrial life and UFOs and the such. So what do you guys think of this? I'm excited to see it happen. I want to see more Pentagon releases.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I believe I looked it up. It was 2015.
2015. Okay.
Yeah, that they originally took place, and they're now coming out with it. They were mandated by our previous president to come out with all the information that they had, and they have. I think it's interesting. I mean, it could be, another country's tech that they're flying low and nobody wants to know. Could be another world's tech. We don't know. I have no idea. I'm kind of baffled and keeping an open mind, and pretty much like you, I'm hoping for that awesome sci-fi reality of the future to come to be. Like, this is our introduction into us knowing the aliens and all those things.
Galactic community.
Yeah, like, that would be amazing, but something, but I'm just watching with bated breath and see where it all leads. And I read about how, like, the maneuvers of the aircraft that's unidentified were hard to explain and exceeded technology that we know about at the time. And that's interesting to me because, that's not unconceivable to say that it's not our technology, as in human.
Right.
But also, you'd think that the people who are reporting that would know about it, but maybe if they do, they don't tell us. And I don't know. I'm interested. I think it's another draw. I think, in the grand scheme of things, it's definitely something to keep people interested and something to watch. So yeah. But I have nothing more than that, or nothing constructive to say about it other than that. Other than my personal opinion on it, I like UFOs. I like the idea of aliens. Let's go. Come on. Bring it on. I'm ready. Yeah.
I've always been fascinated with the idea of UFOs, and not necessarily because of what media portrays them to be, just like the naming convention specifically, because really all it boils down to is just means unidentified flying object. And honestly,
no idea.
It could be a weather balloon, but obviously because of the videos that we've seen that have been verified by the DoD, these aren't weather balloons. They don't look like weather balloons, and they don't move like weather balloons.
They don't act like weather balloons at all.
They don't smell like weather balloons. But one thing that I do find rather comical that I saw in the video. Well, actually, after Ethan recommended watching the video so that we could talk about the topic, is that one of the pilots of the people the plane that was witnessing this thing go down just said, "Oh my God, what is that?" It's like, I don't fucking know. And it's like, that's like such a real response, and I don't know why I didn't expect that. Like, because most of the time, whenever we see like UFO encounters that we perceive to be real, they're all in media, they're all movies. So I see an actor do that. I see an actor act like a human seeing a UFO for the first time. And for some reason, I just didn't think that a real person would act like that, and they did. And it's really interesting, because that just shows how great actors can be about acting human in very human responses.
Yeah, it's funny because most of the UFO videos we see are just shot on cameras and stuff like that from people's phones, and probably about 80% of them are just fake, doctored videos, and they're fake reactions. And then the other, 25% is just overblown people that don't know what they're looking at, or, stuff like that. But just to see these fighter pilots, which all of us know, we've talked to fighter pilots before, just backstory. We all have been on aircraft carriers. We know who these fighter pilots are. They're regular guys. They're smart as fuck. Let's get that point across. They all have degrees. They're good people, most of them.
I'd hope they're smart.
Yeah, they're very smart. The fact that they can fly these machines, and just to, like you said, just to hear them go, what is that? After all that experience, and from what I've read, that video that you're specifically talking about, that was a 06. That was a captain. That was a commanding officer of one of the squadrons on that carrier that is probably has tens of thousands of flight hours. He's been over every country in the world, and he's looking at something going, I have no clue what I'm looking at right now. Are you guys seeing this? And everyone else is chiming in like, dude, your guess is as good as mine. It's so wild to me.
That's such a human moment.
Yeah,
it's
so
human moment.
And I think that's the realest footage we'll ever see of something UFO-like, because they were just going about their merry day in their cockpits, it's just another day at the office for them, and then something just comes in and they're just like, yeah, that's weird.
For the sake of the future of the human race, I hope that that's not the last, because like both of you, I'm super, I am also very into the idea that we are not alone. I think back to a specific South Park episode where aliens come down and they are monitoring the Earth, and they test the Earth to see if they're worthy of technological advances that they have made. And it's some stupid thing where it's like Randy Marsh comes up and like punches a fucking alien in the face without knowing that it's an alien. And it's like, in all good faith, and like punches him. And like from then on, they are blocked off from the rest of the universe. There's a giant force field made around the Earth, and they are forever, indefinitely blocked off from experiencing the rest of the universe. And to think that, oh my god, there's stuff out there that's not just us, and we'll never get to do it, or never get to experience it, at least. That is a thought that really it keeps me up at night. It makes me think about like just life in general. Like if this is just all that there is in the Earth, in the universe, then like that's kind of sad. I'd like for there to be more stuff out in the universe, And
so
I hope we get more.
This because I'm a fangirl, but I really do think that the story of Mass Effect is probably not necessarily the relays and how it happens, but I think the whole societal structure of the Mass Effect galactic community is probably the most accurate thing that is probably out there. There's probably species out there that have come together that are technologically advanced enough to come together as a galactic community. And because we always watch the videos and we know that this galaxy is huge, the universe is even bigger, it's insane. There's got to be more stuff out there. So I have I have a strong feeling that we're probably being monitored because they know we're an intelligent life and we're out there. And it's hard not to see all the lights.
Quote unquote.
Yeah. It's hard not to see all the lights spread across our planet. It's obvious that there's things living here. Like if you look at nighttime pictures from satellites, like anybody could see that. Like, oh my God, this planet is lit up like a fireball. We know there's people out there. And I feel like there's probably some people watching us. Now, have they visited us? I don't know. That's the question that a lot of people have. Have they come to Earth? Have they come to our specific system? But I think at the very least, somebody out there is watching us. Somebody knows we exist. Maybe they can't get to us and they just know we're there. Maybe they can get to us. They just don't feel like doing it because we're like ants to them. We're just dumb little ants. So, it's crazy to think about.
You mentioned Mass Effect. It's Mass Effect Legacy that's coming out, right? Soon? This year?
Mass Effect
The
Legendary
remastered trilogy?
Yes. The
Legendary.
remastered trilogy. It's coming out with all the DLC, all updated graphics, updated voices, updated facial features.
Do you know when?
Oh, I think sometime next month.
Sorry
I
to
don't know the
like put you on the spot. I'm
Yeah.
just like I'm really curious because like this is a perfect point for me to actually get into the Mass Effect
Yes. So-
franchise because I've heard all of my friends talk about it for like the last 5 or 6 years, and having it all in a convenient bundle
Yes.
with all the DLC sounds
I will
really
warn
enticing
you.
to me.
Oh, May 14th.
May 14th.
May 14th.
There we
So
go.
I will warn you, going down the rabbit hole of Mass Effect is, wow, holy cow, there's a lot to it. The lore is so fleshed out. There's so much history to the universe. There's so much stuff to learn about it. If you like lore and if you like learning about different universes and you like getting into things, Mass Effect's a great game. Make sure you check out all the little spots in the game. Make sure you find all of the data pads and all of the, lore stuff, read all the journals, all that stuff. It's super fun to get into. So if anybody out there who has not played the Mass Effect trilogy, or for those of you that played the Mass Effect trilogy without any of the DLC, I highly recommend you pick up Legendary Edition because it is going to be amazing. And then Mass Effect 1 isn't going to be a slog to get through. They've updated it a lot. It was a tough game to play.
Yeah.
The original one, I play it still sometimes, but it's going to be a great time.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it.
Yeah.
And with that, guys, I want to say thank you for joining us today.
Yeah.
For talking about all these random topics.
Yeah,
We'd love to see you next week.
totally.
With a whole another slew of topics.
Heck yeah.
Just final plugs. Go check out White Sea Deer. Go check Zap and I over Zap Quack Packs YouTube. This is going to be on all of your podcast services and also YouTube.
Yeah.
So I hope to see you there and hope to see you next week.
Absolutely.
And if I may here, please, everyone who listens, leave a review. Let us know what you think. What we can improve upon, what you like about us.
Absolutely.
Reviews help. So wherever you want to review, we will read them. So please, let us know what you think, and we're here for you. So.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys again for tuning in, and we will see you guys next week on the Baked Beans Show.
Bye,
Goodbye, everybody.
everyone.
Hey.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.